Zach Meslani now making his way to the stage. Meslani in the black and white. Expect fireworks, ladies and gentlemen.
It's Zach from 10th Planet Bethlehem.
10th Planet Bethlehem.
Veritable dream team of killers.
Him and JM
Yes, sir.
holding down the fort at 10th Planet Bethlehem.
Great technique. He's
He's a beast. He's a savage.
excellent coaches, I have to say. Great guys, JM and Zach.
That's a beautiful.
Great guys, JM and Zach.
Veritable dream team of killers.
He's a beast. He's a savage.
Zach from 10th Planet Bethlehem.
10th Planet Bethlehem. It's 10th Planet Bethlehem. It's a bit.
Great technique. He's
It's 10th Planet Bethlehem.
Just a little bit. What up, everybody? It's Zach's Corner podcast coming back at you with that quick hitter. It is episode number 16, so pretty cool. Never thought I'd make it to 16, but actually I always knew I'd make it to 16 because the Finished Podcast got like 100 some episodes. We haven't been as frequent with that, but we're going to keep that going. We're going to hopefully get one in this week. I got to talk to Big J. Try to coordinate with him, but the weather out here on the East Coast has just been messing everything up. The snow really sucks. Like, it messes with the biz and messes with my training schedule. The one good thing about it is, though, my wife is usually off school, so I get to spend some time with her and the little doggies. So being snowed in isn't all that bad, but I hate this little snow and then a little bit of ice and then snow squalls and, you know, people are crashing, cars all over the place. It was like a 40-car pileup out here, so just sucks. Like, thoughts and prayers to all the people who were involved in that accident. But man, it's just unfortunate when stuff like that happens. And it's been like record low temperatures. And I know some people in Alaska right now are like, screw you, it's cold up here all the time. But, you know, out here we're not used to it. And, well, we are used to it kind of, but it's never really this cold. So some people are like, we didn't even get a winter this year. Well, there you go. We got a winter. So messing stuff up, but still making moves. I got my coffee machine going here. It's maybe a nice coffee. Nectar of the gods. So, episode 16. I got a bunch of stuff coming up. I know I missed a couple of... Did we miss a week or did we go on that last week? I forget. But like I said, the snow's been messing everything up. I did compete over the weekend, so glad to make it out healthy. And I got a draw with 6 minutes. JM competed. He had a draw with 6 minutes, but I felt good, and my back's been feeling good, been doing a lot of stretches and stuff. So, yeah, just able to move it along with that. I'm glad to compete for Rise Invitational. Shout out to Lou Negley and the squad. Matt Cully for having me a part of the show. Shout out to my opponent, Alex Bertrand, another tough black belt. Got down to 140 for this one, so cutting weight sucks, but getting down there like ensures me that I'm going to face someone a little bit smaller than me. You know, not smaller than me, but I have a tall stature, if you will, for a guy my size. Going against him was cool. The guy was tough. I was able to hit some of those DMs, floating passes. We call them the DMs, but I was able to hit some floating pass to like a rolling guillotine pass to side control. I could have went to flat mode. I could have went flat mode and tried to attack that arm. That's what the old Zach used to do. But since I developed what I call a beast mode arm triangle, I use the S grip too. I like to use the S grip on the arm triangle. And like, it's not that I'm that strong. I mean, I know I'm strong. I've got that old man age. Ripe old age of 35, but when I put that S grip together, it's something about the way I'm angling it, I guess, and it just works for me. So some people don't like that. Some people like to use, you know, the gable grip or even the, you know, rear naked choke type grip, but I just can never get those to work. I figured out the freaking S grip, so I'm able to just use that one the best. So I was really trying to, I ended up mounting him, and I was trying to underjack and get all the way up to the arm triangle, but dude was strong. He ended up bridging me off. Went for a heel at the last second, but I knew there was like a second left, so I kind of just laid there, which is stupid on my part. But yeah, I don't know, felt good, so just can't wait to get another competition in. I'm looking forward to, well, right now I don't really have anything solidified. I don't think I'm going to do the ADCC. We're going ADCC with JM, Thor, and Gabe all competing, but I don't think I'm going to compete because you know what? My back is just, my lower back when I take a long plane ride like that, when it's 6 hours and I have to get off and then get to the car, and then it's really a whole day before I can stretch out or warm up my body or do some type of ice bath or some type of sauna or just roll out on a roller. So it's tough for me to get out there on a Friday or Thursday or whatever and just have a day to, not be able to do anything. Yeah, it's tough. So it just, I think like long trips for me are out for competitions. I'm going to have to stay in the New York, New Jersey area, except for we are going to go to, me and JM are going to compete in the Battle Grapple, which Frank Rosenthal just competed in over in the UK. Ray was over there, and CC, shout out to them, opening up 10 Planet NYC. And I'll go over some dates and stuff. So if any of you guys are in our area out here and want to hit any of these spots that me and JM are going on tour to, definitely come through and see us. We're going to be in the UK. And I know that flight is long as hell, but I will grin and bear it to compete in the UK. So I really want to do that. And I feel like it's going to be cool, but we're going to take a couple days before that, obviously, since we're making that trip to like really get there and relax and stuff. So I'm pumped up for that. Actually, let me go over some dates. So I'm very thankful, to be in the position I'm in right now, to be able to travel around and go to, tournaments, and not just tournaments, but like other competitions to watch, and also be able to go and teach, because me and JM have a bunch of seminars coming up. I'm very excited for that. Like I said, just super blessed to be in the situation I'm in, to be doing this. So thank you to everybody who constantly supports us, and keeps pushing us to do what we, set out to do, is compete in jiu-jitsu and become, martial artists, like full-time martial artists, where like I'm also a coach. So right now I'm like player coach mode. I know one day I'm only going to be coach mode, but being in coach mode is pretty dope though. I like being I love being a coach. I love coaching people, and I love, spreading the knowledge, not just coaching, but like just showing someone something. I'm not just a coach, but I'm like showing somebody, hey, try this, or hey, here would be a great thing like that I could add to your game, and there are a lot of people who I look up to too. Like I train on Mondays at Pure Mixed Martial Arts usually. I've been pretty consistent. I missed the last 2 weeks, but one was because of the snow, which is bullshit. But training up there, like I'm always learning stuff from Andy Main, from Mikey Main, from Yanni, and Joe, and all the guys up there. Just I'm just learning from them, not just from them, but like what they're doing to me. And Yanni is always like, hey, check this out, like here's what I could add to your game, and I love it because Eddie is my coach, and being a black belt under Eddie is dope, but he lives in California, so it's tough. I'm learning off the videos, and I get to talk to him, but not as much as I'd like. But yeah, I'd like to be up his butt, talking to him all the time, just be in his ear, like blah, 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 blah. I don't know why I said up his butt, but you know what I mean. So anyways, here's a couple of dates. This weekend, we're going to be at Rat Pack teaching a seminar. March 2nd, we're going to be at the grand opening of 10th Planet NYC. Shout out to Ray De Leon, Ray, and CC Mena, or CC Mena. I forget. I don't know exactly how to say. I should probably ask her, but I've been able to become close friends with Ray and CC. They've been doing a lot of traveling and stuff, so I've been able to hang out with them. And not that like I'm a mentor to them, but like I've been doing, me and Jay have been doing the business part longer, so they're learning a lot off us. I feel I'm trying to help them out as much as I can. I'm really excited for them. I love those kids. I don't even know how old they are. They're probably in their early 20s, I would say. I never asked them that either. I'm an idiot, but I will find out about that. But Ray's a beast, competing everywhere. So I'm excited to see those guys, make moves on their journey. So, and I know they got some, special news and stuff coming out. So I'll let them, they got to break the news and everything. But they are opening up March 2nd. I'm actually ordering a banner for them today for the 10th Planet NYC grand opening. I think it's at noon. I think it starts at noon, so it gives us plenty of time to get up to NYC. I might go the night before and chill out and hang out with the squad. That's Manhattan. That's in Manhattan. So you could message me if you could DM me for details, or just go to @10pnyc. Just search that on Instagram and I'm sure you'll find it. We're going to be March 17th. We're going to be at Marshall Way MMA. That's going to be the grand opening of 10 Planet Newton over there in Newton, New Jersey. So just look up Marshall Way, or again, just message me about any of this stuff. But we're going to be teaching a seminar over there, $60 a head. Yeah, we want to pack the place out, pump for those guys, Jason and Jason. They've been putting together, they've been doing the warm-ups. They've been competing themselves, even though they got into jiu-jitsu a little bit later in life. Jason Ramos' kids are beasts. Little JJ's wrestling. His daughter is a beast. Liliana, I love watching her grapple. And then he's got, their most famous student, I guess would say, is Randy Miley. Randy, she's competing in the finishers. I think she's like 3-1 or something like that at finisher. She might be 3-0 at finisher super fight. So she's a beast. She beats some tough kids. And, Randy's been competing. She competed at Kasai. She competed all over the place. I think she might have lost by points at that one. Don't even matter. She's wrestling. She's doing sambo. I know she's small. She's 17. I think she's 17 right now. So she's growing up before our eyes. So I think Grace is 16. Yeah, Grace is 16. So, and she's always been, big fan of Grace and training partner and stuff like that when she gets to come down. So I'm excited for those guys. Look them up. They've been around forever, coming to the old school, making trips, driving an hour all the time to get training in and learn moves and shit like that. So I'm really excited for those dudes. Get them going. And then on the 24th, I think is the following weekend, we'll be at Stay and Flux. Another guy, Chris Torres, just in Washington, D.C., and Colleen Daly. We've been training with them for a while. Just other people. I got a ton of people always tell me like, oh, I want to be ranked in 10 Planet. I want to blah, 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 blah. But then you don't do nothing about it, right? These guys, they just said it, and then their actions speak louder than words. They started just showing up all the time and being in our face and like, oh, man, I love these guys, bringing their kids down and stuff. It's not like we're making a bunch of money off them or anything like that. We do, when we teach a seminar, we do get some, but we're teaching the people moves. And what's crazy is they're going out there and competing them and doing them. You know what I mean? So, it's really awesome. Like, I thank these guys for, believing in us. But if you are in the Washington, D.C., that is the nation's capital area on March 24th, come by Stay and Flux. You can hit me up. Like I said, just DM your boy for details and I'll just let you know. Like I said, $60 a head. That's open to anyone. And then April 7th, we are going to be at 10 Planet Long Island. Again, dudes out there who keep hitting me up wanting to be 10 Planets, stop, okay? Because the bar has been set high by James and Steve. Steve Castine and James Hassman, 10 Planet Long Island. They set the bar high. They came in, they did all the warm-ups, they did their shit, they're beast competitors. I think Steve has like 19 wins at Kasai, even though they only had 5 of them. And, he just lost over the weekend to, can't remember the dude's name, but Dudu Thor beat at Kasai. Listen, Steve is a beast. He was going at it with like Danaher black belts. I mean, Steve is a monster. He's one of Thor's toughest roles for sure when he came down. So, and, Steve and James, they pretty much kicked my ass. So those guys are beasts. I can't wait to go up there and try to share some knowledge with those guys. Plus, they got an awesome crew. Their crew always comes down. And like I said, they set the bar high for everybody else. I mean, they're on the East Coast, like they're doing it. James coming off a knee injury, but, they're getting close to the amount of students where he can be doing this full time. I know Steve is doing it full time. So I love those guys, man. Thank you all, everybody I just named, for believing in us. Oh yeah, I didn't really talk much about Rat Pack, but that's D-Boy and Nick Massington. Also my lawyer, shout out to Arm Lawyers. But Rat Pack's throwing a little shindig for their grand opening, having us come through. We're working with them, so I'm really excited about that. Yeah, I just can't wait. Like, I just, sharing the mats with all these people and doing this stuff, I just feel like a blessed individual right now. So, May and Jam are on tour. I think we have another one that we might be setting up in April, but that one's in Ohio or something like that. So I got to figure out the trip on that one because that's kind of a haul for your boy. But we are working on it. What else is going on? So I think those are all the dates actually, but other dates to throw in there, February 23rd and 24th is the Finishers Tournament. Today is the last day. This won't come out today, but today is actually Thursday and the last day to sign up for pre-registration. But we already got I don't even know, 60, 80 competitors or something like that. So divisions are stacking up. And listen, I'm not trying to be Kip Kohler on this. I mean, it'd be nice if I could make a gajillion dollars off this and it never be heard from again. Just have my bald head on the side of a bus somewhere in the UK and just be running Nagas in freaking Flagstaff, Arizona and freaking Bumble Freak, Tallahassee, and just be making money off everybody. And Kip's been around forever. He still owes me $200, I feel, from a dispute we had back in the day. But that's neither here nor there. the cool thing is, you got to go through and you got to win Naga, and you got to go through wrestlers and MMA guys. And like, you could say what you want about Naga, but heel hooks are legal at Naga. They're not at IBJJF. So, IBJJF way more prestigious, but, there's a whole bunch of moves that are illegal, So I never understood that. Like, I understand, like, IBJJF has probably obviously the better competition, but those guys aren't rolling with the full rules. Guys at Naga are. So, I'd like to see some of these IBJJF guys, that don't ever compete at Naga just go there and, go ahead, wipe a guy up. We'll see. You know what I mean? We'd like to see. I mean, I'm sure they would. Most of obviously the top tier guys are going to mob, you know what I mean? But some of the mid-level guys that only do IBJJFs, you're blue or purple, and you never competed heel hooks, and you go to compete, and there's leg locks and freaking, twisters and all types of other moves that they deem illegal, get used on you, and you don't know what you're doing. So, I don't know. Just a random thought that popped into my head. The Finishers Tournament is just to, get guys experience and put people on the map and get the finishers open. If you're looking for super fights, we don't have a lot of divisions. There's no masters division. There's no teens. There's no kids. Maybe we'll do that eventually, but we're looking at like, prospects for who the next people are that we're going to put in the finishers sub-only pro show, which is on the 24th. We got so many good matchups coming up. It's crazy. The pro show is nuts. But the people if you win the open, we put you in the pro show. That's kind of how it goes. So, like a bunch of people here, man, I can't go through and name all of them, but just some really good matchups. CC from 10 Planet New York's facing Chelsea Mappa from Training Grounds, right? That's at 115 pounds. Corey Guitard's facing Enrique Galarza. Those are both black belts. Diego Ponce, Daniel Hernandez. That's a sick matchup right there, So I'm sure those two guys would heel hook a bunch of guys in IBJJF. Just saying. And then we got the 45 division stacking up. My boy, yours truly, J.M. Holland is in. I don't know what yours truly means, but J.M. Holland's in it. Frank Rosenthal's in it. Kevon's in it. Emilio Hernandez, Judah Siervo. See, he had an epic performance at the last Finishers Open. Now I put him in the pro show. Javier Guzman, Sheridan Moran, Combat Jiu-Jitsu. One of the first Combat Jiu-Jitsu guys. Our boy Gabe Tejada opening up 10 Planet Miami's in it. Keith Krikorian. Can't even be able to beat Keith Krikorian. I have no idea. And then we got a couple other guys didn't announce yet. We got Jess Feliciano from Padilla is going to be facing Sarah Mazzuglio. That's going to be a great matchup right there. Two of the ladies that were in our first ever women's bracket. Pierre Olivier Lelerc. I don't know how to say Pio's name. That's right. I just call him Pio, right? So Pio from TriStars facing one of my boys, Andrew Alexander from 10 Peak Ranch Pass. And then we got Ray 10P NYC versus John Battle, two really good friends of mine. Can't wait to see him go at it. That's going to be dope. So Finishers Tournament, register, finishersjujitsu.com. And, we are making money off some of this stuff, obviously. So the money that we do make, and shout out to our sponsors too, the money that we do make, we put back into the thing. Like I got, my friend is working on our flyer guy, one of our newer flyer guys, right? Ashan, he's working on all types of stuff. I don't even know where he's from, but somewhere probably far away, but he's working on a ton of shit. We're going to be putting up a new Finishers website. If you check out our home site for 10th Planet Bethlehem, finishersmma.com, check that out. We just added a new website in. So our shopfinishers.com. I'm just working on so much stuff, man. I'm just hustling like a dog out here. You know what I'm saying? And that's what you got to do. You can't just, you gotta hustle hard. You can't just sit back and, me and my wife were actually talking about, I was reading a book called Mindset. I know I'm jumping all over the place, but too bad. I was reading a book called Mindset, and I've been really enjoying reading lately. Like I did read before, but I kind of had to force myself to do it. Now I kind of like taking a break. I kind of like, you know what I mean? I like taking a break from, looking at my phone or posting shit up or whatever, and just reading, even if it's a couple of pages or it's a chapter of some of the books that I've gotten and some of the books that you guys suggested on my Instagram. And just because you learn from it, it's a different perspective. You're learning from looking at the computer, and you're learning and looking at the phone. But when you're actually reading in a book and there's no sound on or anything like that, like you're like, oh, you're actually forcing thoughts into your brain, and you have to like graph your own picture of what's happening in the book you're reading. So it's from your eyes to your brain, in your mind, like, oh, this is what that's what I'm seeing when I read this book. So anyways, I was reading this book called Mindset, and this was last night, and it just talks about how it's all about the fixed mindset and the growth mindset. So fixed and growth mindset, obviously two different things. Look them up if you don't know what they are. I'm not going to explain them because I don't want to sound like a butthole. Plus, just pick up this book, Mindset. I'm telling you, it's important. I'm not even all the way done with it. I kind of read it in the beginning and skipped apart the chapters. Now I'm going back and like actually taking notes and stuff. It's all about mindset for everything. And the fixed and growth mindset, they both, I know a lot of people out there dealing with depression. It's a real thing, and anxiety and all that. I don't really know much about it, but I'm trying to learn about it and like see what people are going through. And it said in the book, anyways, that depression and is both people who have fixed and growth mindsets. Both people get depression, but it's just how they deal with it. Like a fixed mindset will do it one way, and a growth mindset will do it one way. And even though it's snowing out here, it's like I can't just shut down. I want to just keep moving. And if bad things happen, or like I get, some days I just don't feel like doing anything, that's fine. It's okay, to not feel like doing anything one day. Like some days you just don't want to do shit and you need that reset, but then when you get remotivated, I feel just pumped, and I want to just keep doing things to keep my mind occupied so I don't, one day suffer from depression or get that anxiety. Believe me, I have anxiety about all this stuff, the finishers tournament. Like I have anxiety about that. Like I'm like, oh shit. I have anxiety about going to the gym and trying a new class. I have anxiety. I know people feel that about coming into the martial arts school. Like I'm trying to be more cognizant of that too. I know my wife she has a podcast. Check it out, Life with Kat. And she was just talking about how you don't give up, and like she's tried jujitsu now, and she's training jujitsu a little bit. She comes like twice a week, and then and she's really a part-timer. She's just doing jujitsu for fun. She's not even trying to, and she's learning to defend herself and wanting to get in shape and stuff like that. But she just twice a week, and she makes it. She don't even care. You know what I mean? So anyone can do it. Like you guys who really want to train, you come in once a week and you bust my balls about getting a fight. It's like, my wife comes twice a week. And she goes to the gym twice a week, and she does this hanging thing where you're like hanging in hammocks and stuff. It's really cool. So, and her podcast, she talks about, dealing with that and being a first timer and looking stupid or feeling like you're going to look stupid or whatever the case may be. I feel the same way. Me and her feel the same way about going to the weightlifting area of the gym. Like I go to the gym, which I'm going to go after this podcast. I don't like going over to the weightlifting area because dudes are jacked over there. And like, I know I'm in shape, but like, I don't lift a lot of weight. So like, I feel like dudes are always looking at me like, look at this pussy. He can't even lift, blah, 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 blah. And maybe they are, but right now I don't even give a shit because I know I still feel that way. But now I know I just go over there and I have my headphones on. I don't even look at other people. I try not to make eye contact. I know that I could, I know that dude can lift double the amount of weight of me, but how's his heel hook defense? You know what I mean? Probably not good. Like if I put him on honey hole, like if he just makes a mistake and, tries to swing a weight at me and somehow I'm on his leg, like I don't think he knows the honey stick or the honey flip or anything like that. So I'll probably end up getting him, if you know what I'm saying. But I don't like going over there. So, but I'm forcing myself to do it. And that's one of the reasons why I force myself to compete. I compete because I want to push myself. I want to figure out what's working. It keeps me sharp. Doing things that I don't like doing or stepping out of my comfort zone just keeps me, sharp in my mind where I don't just start. And then also too, I don't start saying ridiculous things like how I would beat this dude or how that guy ain't shit or whatever. I feel like when you never test yourself anyway, you get in that's the kind of mindset you get in where you could just feel like you say everything, and I know there's dudes out there that I know that are younger than me, they're three years younger than me, or maybe they're around the same age. And they haven't competed in 5-6 years now, and they're still holding on to wins against me from 7 years ago. And I'm like, dude, you don't test yourself. You're thinking in your mind, you're thinking you still can beat me, or you can roll with certain guys, and you have a really strong opinion, But the truth is, I'll kill you now, and I'm sure you would get jacked up in a tournament. So, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't want to fall into that mindset. I want to be sharp. That's why I keep competing as long as I still can, And I'm not going to be super old out there doing it because like the risk of injury just keeps getting higher and higher, and eventually having kids and stuff. Like I'm going to be I want to be a full-time coach, and I want to get someone to UFC and the whole nine. But for now I'm 35. I'm in my prime, son. Some of y'all already retired. I'm not going to let that, I'm not going to do that to myself or my students. I'm staying sharp, right? I'm keeping that mindset of like keeping myself in the game so I know what's right to teach, and I know, I know what's going to work and what's not going to work because I'm in there. I want to be in there. I'm not competing at every single thing, but I'm pushing myself to do things out of my comfort zone. I'm pushing myself to jump out there and do it, even though like, it risks looking like a dumbass or getting smoked on live TV or live internet TV and in front of a bunch of people. And look, it's happened to me, dude. I've lost. JM has gone out in combat jiu-jitsu and lost. You know what I mean? Like, we haven't won everything, but I'll tell you what, we're in there and we're fighting some of the best guys. So suck on that one. Here's Big Uncle Zach telling you about things to watch. If you haven't seen that Fire Festival or Firefly Festival or whatever the hell it's called, a documentary on Netflix, do yourself a favor and watch it. That gives me anxiety. Like, me being involved in nickel and dime businesses right now, or compared to these dudes having people and all these freaking rich kids and their parents spending thousands of dollars just to get ripped off. It's kind of funny. Like, the memes were kind of funny of like, I don't understand what people were like, dude, who's paying $2,000 to go see a Blink 182 concert? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what the one comedian said. But seriously, like, you're paying thousands of dollars and flying on a thing to go see Blink, whatever. I get it. It was supposed to be like beach villas and shit like that. Ja Rule was there. Like, who cares about Ja Rule? Like, remember that Dave Chappelle thing? Like, right now, I want to know what Ja Rule is thinking. Like, that whole group, they put that together. And I think me and JM just find it funny that, like, a startup entrepreneur business guys, like, we're small potatoes compared to some of these dudes. But they, these companies, the media making this guy like, this dude is one of the top entrepreneurs in the country that started with millions of dollars or started with huge loans from his parents. We never could get $75,000 loan from our parents. You know what I mean? Or some crazy ass thing like that. Like, these dudes are coming up with millions, starting with millions of dollars. Well, no shit, he's a good entrepreneur. He started with a fucking $1 million. Anyone could be a half decent entrepreneur. You're not an entrepreneur at that point, in my opinion. If you're starting with $1.5 million from investors and stuff like that, you're rich. Okay? That's different. You are coming out with money. You don't have to, you're just trying to make more money and be big dick swinging with $1.5 million investments. Okay, I get it. If I had $1.5 million, I wouldn't invest shit. I would just chill with that money. But maybe investors gave it to him, whatever. But the guy's a freaking imbecile. He just sold himself out and just was lying to people, and the guy's a piece of shit. And he should go to jail. I think he's out right now just because he got big lawyers. But I mean, how did they not? I know these Netflix documentaries are flaming this dude. They should. That guy wasn't a businessman. This guy was a fucking liar, dude. And he knew all these people that were able to give him money, and he just ripped off a bunch of idiot rich kids. So I mean, documentary is awesome though. Watch it, because it gives me anxiety of the stupid shit he was doing. He just kept trudging on through. They're like, man, he's so tough, and he's got a mind for. No, he doesn't. He's a jerk off, and he's a con artist. I mean, I don't know how that makes him a good entrepreneur, but watch it and you tell me what you think. I thought it was funny to watch that dumbass do that. Yeah, it was funny. So anyways, watch that. Also, I watched the Ted Bundy thing, and it was crazy. Like, just in historical purposes of someone who's ever done anything like this, Ted Bundy's by far one of the worst. I didn't know the whole story. You guys know I'm into murder mysteries and stuff like that. And I know some people were getting fired up about, like, you're giving him power by saying his name and blah, 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 blah. And I agree. It's bad. It sucks. And it sucked for the families of the people he did all this stuff to. I've never had anything like that happen to my family, so I have no idea. Like, that's scary. But what I will say is, it's just interesting from the standpoint of what you could get away with back in the 70s, or, literally anything. I feel like you could just go and kill someone in an area and then just get out of there and go to a different state, or even stay in the next town or two towns over, and no one would even know. That's what's insane. No one would know. You could do all types of stuff, robbing and stealing. I mean, I'm not saying I would have been like this, but I'm saying back then you could have been a, pretty successful criminal. You could have just stole cars. No one would know. You just change the license plate and they're looking for that car in your town, but there's no way for fingerprints and DNA and all this stuff. I'm sure there was so much stuff happened, was never reported. But now, I guess I don't know, like it's tough with I got a degree in criminal justice, but the uniform crime reports and all that stuff. A lot of that stuff is not, I feel, just using common sense is really not accurate. Like when people are supposed to, victims are supposed to report the crimes. A lot of people don't report stuff. I have shit happen to me and I don't report it. Like someone, this didn't happen. Someone throws a rock through your window. I mean, okay, maybe report it so it doesn't happen again. But how many times people report that stuff? I bet a lot of them just pay for the new window. So I feel like a lot of stuff doesn't get reported in that, but it'd be interesting to know real facts on how many people got away with stuff and, did different things. I mean, Ted Bundy killed so many people. Then he broke out of jail twice. So like, again, the cops making dumb moves. I don't even know how. I have to go back and watch it because I watch it in and out, and check it out. But I don't get how you break out of jail twice. It's ridiculous. How are they letting him out? Like, I get it was the 70s and there's cameras or whatever, but how are people so stupid? How did they let the guy, he's doing all this stuff and he escaped from jail twice? Again, I got to go back and rewatch it. Interesting, though. I feel like it's very interesting that happened. But the Ted Bundy case was pretty crazy. Netflix just keeps coming with the hitters. They got money and they just keep backing stuff and getting shit made, and like people come up with ideas. So it's awesome. I love the Netflix originals. Some people are talking shit about Bird Box. I thought that was pretty good. I like a lot of the stuff on Netflix right now, and it's better than having cable. Like when I see people posting up about like, well, I'm finally getting rid of cable. I'm like, wow, welcome to the future. You've had cable? Like even football games, like, well, I want to watch sports. You could pay for the channels to get only sports, and it's cheaper. It's cheaper too, so there's that. But yeah, so check those out. Ted Bundy, Firefly or Fire, I forget what it's called. Also, shout out to our sponsors, Inverted Gear, Nelson from Inverted Gear and Hillary, awesome people, training at the school with us a little bit. They've been traveling for a while, but Hillary was in last night. Both black belts, like I said, they run Inverted Gear. They got a lot of dope stuff. Check out their website, invertedgear.com. Also, Set Apparel. Set Apparel is around, and like he moved to Texas, and now he's starting a little academy down there, and he's reworking on his dream. So pumped up for him going back there and getting his stuff together. Set New York. Check that out. Then I'm going to go over to our Finishers sub-only Instagram. So if you're on the gram, I have like 900 Instagrams. We are Finishers, at Finishers _sub-only. And right down here, right, is the Finisher sub-only 2, like I said. Let's go, Emilio Hernandez is in it. Want to see where I have the, check out some of our sponsors. Where is it? Here we go. Set Apparel. It is deathsetnewyork.com. He is the guy, he made the Make Jiu-Jitsu Violent Again. And those are cool shirts. I used to have a shirt back in the day that said fighting solves everything. And I used to get a lot of looks, and like people would always comment and say shit like that. Like, so I like those Make Jiu-Jitsu Violent Again shirts. Those are really dope. He's got a whole bunch of cool stuff. Check out this. I want the one that's the science. It says Science of Jiu-Jitsu sweatshirt. I want that because, that's something we say all the time because of Joey Diaz. We're always like, science. So I'm definitely checking that out. And then rollamongus.com is Lanky Fight Gear or lankyfg.com. My boy John Robinson over there. A lot of these guys, Inverted Gear, Lanky, they sell gi pants. Some of the best in the biz. And Set Apparel, I'm hoping he puts out some. It's his like a clothing line and a really cool brand. But I'm hoping he puts out some freaking the shorts were on there. I got to check those out. But I'm hoping he puts out some Science of Jiu-Jitsu rash guards. Those would be sick. So also, I want to say that I'm in on 20% of those. Or, hey, listen, like the more money that I can make, the more investments I can do. That's what I want. So shout out to everybody that's helping with the Finisher sub only, Show the Art. I don't know. I talked about a lot of stuff. Talked about our sponsors, Black Belt CBD. That one's always on there. You could use a promo code Finishers or come by the school. Or you can come by the Finisher sub only. We'll be selling Black Belt CBD too. And now I'm going to look up little quote that I wrote down from the book. So basically it just says, you're only a failure when you start to blame, right? And the way you can interpret that however you want, but that's when, I forget who said it, was like a famous basketball coach or something like that from back in the day, but I the way I interpret that, and it goes to a little explanation, but sometimes I like to interpret things my own way and just see what I think about that, or how I can, how that goes through my mind. And really, that's like really goes to jujitsu big time. Like when someone says, oh, well, I did really good, but I just didn't, I just couldn't pull my moves off. He wasn't letting me get anything. So, and when you lose, you'd be like, well, if the time wouldn't have, it's just always an excuse. There's always something happen. I didn't have enough time to do this, or, the ref. And, that's when you become like a failure. When you in your mind, not like in real life. I'm just saying like, in your mind, that's when I believe you failed. You believe you failed because you didn't do this, or you're just going to make an excuse about it. So stop blaming and just, take it as it is. It is what it is. You can either choose to, blame everything else, or you can use it as a learning experience, and I've done that a bunch of times. I've done that as a coach. I've learned plenty of things. Like for instance, Thor versus Taza 2, winner goes to EBI. Thor had the spot, and, the grappling industries was totally fucking up the rules the whole entire time, and they were definitely playing the rules to what, their favorite guys were. And it really pissed me off because we drove all the way up there, and this was a big opportunity for Thor. But you know what? We learned from it. What I learned as a coach is, shut the tournament down and start jacking people up if they're not going to play by the rules. Like you're going to have this, because you're taking an opportunity away from guys. So in that instance, I should have been more direct with my, more direct with how I was doing it. And in the beginning, we were like blaming the tournament and everything. And like, that's what I was doing, right? I blamed the tournament, but I learned from it now. I learned that, okay, before it gets too deep, and I just let it go because I was just so confident in Thor winning. And, he did by their original rules, but it doesn't even matter. What I've learned is I can't let that happen again. I have to, as a coach, be willing to, step in for my athlete and say, hey, man, this ain't right. You're not you're not doing the rules correctly from what you said you were going to do, and you're changing them up as it goes. And I'm going to make a big stink about it, or whatever the situation is. Maybe that's not the right thing to do either. But you see what I'm saying? I learned from it. Instead of blaming everything, which I did for a long time, and you can go back to listen to old Finishers podcast where I'm blaming the shit out of, Choke Boys hat guy from Grappling Industries. I forget his name. And the whole nine. I'm blaming them and calling them names and stuff and acting like a real child. But really, I learned. They were wrong, and I'm playing the blame game. But you know what? I forget about it. I'm sorry for Thor. That was a mistake on my part. I should have been a better coach. And that's where I just learned. Learning experience. Same thing with matches. We're like, oh, well, he did a move I didn't know. Or, I was looking at the time, and it's like, oh, you know what? You shouldn't have been looking at the time. You should have been paying attention. You weren't 100% focused. That's why I lost. All right. Learning experience. I come back. I learn again. The guy, some guy comes in and just trucks me, and I feel like I'm getting washed. Oh, well, the guys are just on steroids. That's a blaming thing. Go and get stronger. Or you start doing steroids. I'm just kidding. But you know what I mean? I think there's so many quotes from there. And there's so many things you can learn from that book Mindset. And I'm really trying to get into that. So check it out. And yes, I love you guys. I'm going to wrap it up because I got a bunch of stuff to do. I'm about at 40 minutes. So pumped up for that. Shout out to my brother for bringing this down. I love you guys. If anyone needs anything, always feel free. Hit me on Facebook. Hit me in the DMs on the gram. I don't always get back to people right away. I got a lot of messages and stuff, but I always will return your message, right? So yeah, shout out to you guys. I love y'all. Peace.
Black Belt CBD has you covered for all your training needs. CBDs are all the hype right now because of their natural way to reduce inflammation and pain. Black Belt CBD has CBD protein powder, pre-workout, capsules, Zach's favorite muscle rub, and many more products. Go to blackbeltcbd.com and use promo code FINISHERS at checkout for 25% off.
Hey everybody, this is Paul Maslaney, Zach's little brother. Some of you may know me, a lot of you probably don't, but that's okay too. I am Zach's podcast producer for Zach's Corner. I'm not the producer for Finishers. I produce podcasts for multiple shows. I am starting my own startup called PRM Productions. Anyone who's interested in starting their own podcast, producing a podcast, they need a podcast producer, they need someone to help them with audio for anything. I do a little bit of video production with it. We can get audio tracks and stuff up onto YouTube. Can also help out, there's one-time deals. We could do hourly rates. I have packages. They're all custom built depending on what you want and what you need. I can help with one episode. I can help sign on for a whole season. It's whatever you're looking for. Maybe you just want me to show you how to do the basics and help you launch your podcast. Then you can take over and do everything on your own. If you would like to hear any of my other work, I've produced all 3 seasons of a podcast called Leadership in Tech. The links for all of this will be in the show notes. I also produced another podcast called The Success Factor with Hernani Young. That was a short-lived podcast. He was trying to convert his book into a podcast, which isn't a bad idea, but I don't think he had the time for it. But any of you who want to make recording a podcast a priority, I can show you how to do it yourself, help you get started. I could help you run it and produce it if you want a professional quality podcast. But so you record your episode. A lot of people start off, they record 1 episode a week. Just tell me what you want done, and I will return to you your finished product. I can get it up. I can get it online. Do your show notes. I can convert it to YouTube. I can get it on multiple platforms. There's other services are available as well. This is my first promo I'm releasing. You just give me the secret passcode, finish him. Finish him. And we will finish it together at a discount with that promo code. Reference the show notes for my email address to contact me for an estimate, as well as for several links. Or if you want to reach out to me right away, my email is paul@salt.io. That's PAUL at SALT.io. Peace.